Kendrick drop! Kendrick drop! Wait, what?
So firstly, I would like to thank Kendrick Lamar for giving me a video to make this week. Oh, Kendrick, you did it. You killed Blake. The last 24 hours of hip-hop have been insane. I'm gonna tell you right now, I already know this video is too late for whatever's happening. I'm not going to explain any of the beef. Go to another video for that. For this video, I just want to appreciate Kendrick Lamar and what he has contributed to hating. I'll summarize this. Yesterday, he releases a diss track called 616 in LA, talking about how Drake's posse has some moles in it. A few people in Drake's little posse are against him, and they're stealing information. Drake makes a diss track called Family Matters. 15 minutes later, Kendrick makes a diss track called Meet the Grams, talking about Drake's family. Kendrick in the last week has been on a run of hatership that is almost unparalleled. I'll be honest, man, I'm holding in the biggest shit right now just because that's the energy, holding in a big doo-doo, because, you know, this is angry, this is fierce, this is constipated. Kendrick has sparked the question of what does it really mean to hate someone? Okay, so let me put it like this. Drake is the person who has hated 10,000 people one time, and Kendrick is the person who has hated one man 10,000 times. That is the difference between this beef. Drake is putting all of his energy into hating like 10,000 people. You know, he's going towards Rick Ross, he's going towards A$AP Rocky, he's going towards all these other people. And like Kendrick's there in the mix too, you know, oh, you beat your wife, blah, blah, blah. But Kendrick's sheer focus and direction is sheerly directed towards Drake. And really what I want to get at with this type of hating is how it can reflect someone's artistry and someone's determination and someone's goal. One of the most important things you can have as a creative, as a visionary, as an artist is actually having direction. Being able to just take something and really hone in on it. For the past 11, 12 years, every one of his albums has had some sort of concept, some sort of focus, some sort of general idea. And that's a whole nother video. When Kendrick's able to have an entire album focused on a certain theme, focusing on Drake is so easy for him. He can do this. He can just do that. Focusing on Drake is nothing. This is just another concept for him. It just so happens to be focused on hating one guy. And usually he's split between something. Like, he's either, you know, wickedness or weakness, okay? Mr. Morale or the Big Steppers, the good kid or the Mad City. No, Drake and Drake only. There's no J. Cole to, like, have a dichotomy with. It's purely Drake. And seeing this sheer amount of focus, especially with this latest diss track, I'll be honest, the first two diss tracks actually kind of disappointed me because I wanted them to be this. Because this one actually has the hating I wanted. It's one thing to just go, I hate you! I hate you! I was actually rather disappointed in Euphoria. It uses Drake's powers against him in that Kendrick made a club banger about hating Drake. Kendrick used Drake's strengths against him to just say, you're the club banger guy? Well, I'm gonna make a club banger about hating you. I finished recording, he dropped another one. Good news is that it doesn't really affect the message I'm getting across in my video, but I still want to talk about it, okay? Imagine that was me taking off my glasses or something. So what this told me is that Meet the Grams that was his personal blow. That was his personal blow. This actually feels like a conclusion to this beef, an epilogue to anything Kendrick wanted to. This diss EP at this point, it's a whole EP of dissing. This is how you hate. Was it really necessary? Not really, but that's kind of the point. Probably his most petty one, his most unnecessary, his most just, I really hate you. By the way, I hate you. You're a horrible person, Drake. You know, that sort of thing, right? I'll do some lighting real quick, okay? Yep, is that good? That's fine. I think this newest Kendrick diss track, overall, it's not going to really impact anything regarding like actual, well, he called him a I think he just really wanted to clarify, by the way, this guy, do not put your kids around him. My kids are not going to talk to your kids because I know the parent of those kids, okay? That sort of thing. But in terms of hatership, very strong move, a very good finishing move. It's not exactly a fatality or anything, but just pissing on him, pissing all over him. I hate you. Good moves. Good moves, I feel. So when everyone's in the club, they're just gonna hear about how much I hate you. With Meet the Grams, this is the blood I wanted. It's no longer about, I hate the way that you walk, I hate the way that you... I want you dead. And this speaks to the hater in me. There's no one I want dead, but then again, I don't know anyone who's a predator. If I knew someone that could be compared to Harvey Weinstein, I'd probably want them dead, because, you know, I want him dead. Make the bad guy die. But it really begs the question for me of, how long was this coming? How long was Kendrick waiting for this moment? How long was everyone waiting for this moment? How long was Drake's posse waiting for this moment? I look at this knowing Kendrick isn't doing this for attention. He's not doing this for attention as much as he's using his platform. Kendrick knows he doesn't need any more attention. He just got a Billboard #1. He doesn't need any more attention. He just has the platform to spread messages. And that's what he usually does. That's what he's been doing for like the past 10 years, right? But with this, he actually uses his platform to target someone. YouTube doesn't encourage that sort of thing, but let's be honest, Drake probably deserves. That hatred is so strong and so pungent. Everyone's gagging like Keith Lee eating collard greens, okay? Everyone's me personally, this was my euphoria. This is what I wanted in a diss track towards Drake. This is what I wanted. Listen to it, I just, man, I think he should die. Ooh. Oh man, it made it sound like I'm having sex. I'll give it this. This was better than jacking off. And you know what? I think there might be higher tiers of hatred, but Kendrick achieved a higher level of hating than just hating everything about someone. That is what's considered like the max hatership of certain people. There is higher tiers of hatred where you actually want to destroy someone's life. Okay, so I think the maximum amount of hating you can do is first-degree murder, but what's the most legal way to hate someone? The maximum amount of hating. You have, you know, disliking, you know, just, I don't know, there's just something about them I don't like. The next tier is just hating them. I just hate something about them. Something about them I just hate. And then tier 3 is knowing why you hate them. And it can be for the most petty of reasons, but when you understand why you hate someone, you can talk about it longer. You can express your disgust and vitriol towards a certain thing. This is about my tier towards BoJack Horseman. Tier 4, it's not enough to hate them. I want them gone. That is where Kendrick is at. It is not enough to just hate this guy. He disgusts me so much. I want him dead, but if I can't have him dead, I'm going to take everything from him. Is a diss track actually going to do that? Probably not. Let's be honest, Drake's just a psychopath. He's so used to having a bunch of people hate him that this probably isn't going to do anything towards him. I think he's just so deluded by the amount of people that hate him that Kendrick's hatred towards him, he almost doesn't feel anything. I think he just can't feel. You know what? He's popular enough. I can say that about him. He probably doesn't know how to feel. And he has the sort of mentality that I see in people like Logan Paul or Keemstar, where they're so blinded by the normal amount of hatred they get that when there's like an influx of hatred or just more hatred than usual towards something they did, they don't register it. At most, they just see a mistake and have their career, you know, continue as usual. Why is Logan Paul bigger than ever? Like, why does he keep succeeding? Why does he have a successful drink? I never even tried it. I don't want to. I hate him. I hate the way that he walks, the way that he talks. I just don't think he has human emotions, and, you know, I think he's a big bully. So what can I learn from Kendrick's hatred? Because I have a lot of hatred within me. And you know what? It's not just enough to hate it and know why I hate it. Sometimes I need to just tear things down. When I say I hate BoJack Horseman, I mean I want to hate it so much that I can change its legacy. I want people to understand that this shit is not a top 100 show on IMDb. What the fuck? Here's the thing, I don't hate BoJack Horseman. No, I do. Fuck that show. But when I hate BoJack Horseman, it's because I believe there can be a show better than BoJack Horseman. But if this is the status quo of greatness in TV, it's gonna be shit. And I think Kendrick has similar sentiments about Drake, Adonis, Drake's son, or Drake's daughter that we don't really know anything about. He ultimately has hope for them, and he says, you can conquer these demons. I know you're strong. You need a greater mentor than your father or your grandfather. I can help you. There's ultimately a desire for Kendrick to wash away the wickedness of Drake. Spray some water on him, watch him melt. But there is an inherent good that comes with making a diss track like this. To take away the wickedness of what is in the music industry. I've seen about like fucking 300 Cat Williams tweets. You know, every time a celebrity gets exposed on Twitter now, it's some fucking image of Cat Williams. I mean, the interview was fun, but can you stop treating Cat Williams like a prophet? It's weird. I think that message of optimism needs to be spread because a lot of people said they were depressed after hearing Kendrick's diss track. It made them sad, it made them disgusted, it made them feel sick to their stomach. And when I was listening to this, I felt like Grandpa Joe when he saw the golden ticket. I just, yippee! This is a healing song, okay? This is healing music. When I hear those notes play in the back, it feels like droplets of baptism, okay? This is a cleansing track for me. And I'll just say for me, because again, a lot of people were saddened. They felt disgusted, sickened, saddened by Kendrick's vitriol towards Drake. Although it felt like it, and it actually kind of was just sheer hatred. But with the best hatred comes an inherent goodwill. You know, one of my favorite diss tracks, and one of the best diss tracks in general, is No Vaseline by Ice Cube, okay? He dissed every single member of his old group, but you know why he did that? Because he wanted them to get out of a bad contract. Ice Cube made No Vaseline from the good of his heart, and look what it did for Dre and Easy and everyone in NWA, okay? Because they were all a lot of brilliant minds that just, once they all got out of NWA, they all had better careers, you know, maybe. I know you only know 3 of the 5 members of NWA, but fuck it, 60% success rate, that's better than a lot of groups that break up. When I listen to this diss track again and again, it actually makes me feel cleaner. I feel like a better person whenever I listen to this. It makes me want to fight all the wickedness in the world. And by that, I mean, you know, it makes me want to fight people like Drake. But for when it happens, whenever you find someone that sickens you or rottens you to your core, do a bunch of politics and take everything from them because they are wicked. I sound like an evangelical pastor right now. See all those homeless people, they are the wicked, and you gotta spray them with water bottles. It's not like that. It's not like that. I promise. I think we can learn a lot from how Kendrick has hated today, or yesterday. Anyway, in the last 24 hours, he's done a lot of hating. I really have to doo-doo. But a really interesting thing about this diss track is this is the first time we've really seen Kendrick do something like this. He doesn't really do anything in the moment, if that makes sense. Whenever he makes something, he always has it kind of with the intent to be everlasting, almost. His albums haven't aged. He always does something with the intent to make it somewhat timeless. But with this is contemporary. This is in the moment. And whenever Kendrick does something that's in the moment, like Control, it's always on a feature. You know, it's never really anything that he's directly involved in. This is really the first time where you've had that mix of him being directly involved and actually having it be somewhat timely. In a way, him going out of his way to do that just for Drake, it's another level of hatred. It made him great character, almost. It kind of did. Kendrick's character changes from record to record, but his general character, his overall presentation when he's making an album is kind of this somewhat stoic figure that's high on a hill, then you know, it's lonely at the top, that sort of thing. There's a lot more emotional vulnerability that I see directly. Because whenever I hear Kendrick emotionally, there's always like this cinematic quality to it that kind of disassociates me. Where when I listen to You, I'm kind of like, yeah, this is about how Kendrick hates himself and he wants to die and stuff, but at the same time, you have like the maid going, housekeeping, and it kind of, you know, there's that suspension of disbelief when Kendrick wants to die. Whenever I listen to Kendrick, there's always been kind of this emotional disassociation, even when he's at like his most emotionally vulnerable. I put that in quotes. It's almost a little too theatrical. But with this diss track, I don't feel any of those theatrics getting in the way. There's no like entendre in the title to get obsessed over, or any backwards speak at the beginning, or any beat changes, you know. No, this time it is pure just venom. And I love it. Like, I know Kendrick cries in You, and it's supposed to be like this really emotionally vulnerable thing, but I'm kind of listening to it like it's kind of him saying like, oh, listen to how vulnerable I am. I'm crying in the bridge. Like, I get it, but it's always kind of been this strange in-between of like, this is him at his most vulnerable, but at the same time, he's trying to present it as grandiose as possible. I just needed like raw, unfiltered thoughts about this because it just came out and I can't stop thinking about it. Nobody can stop thinking about it. Like, seriously, no one can stop thinking about the amount of hatred Kendrick has put into this. And you know, I have to commend him for his sheer volume of hatred. What is the moral of this story? If you're gonna hate, make it specific, make it direct, give it a message. Allow me to reiterate, I fear not the man who has hated 10,000 people one time, but the man who has hated one person 10,000 times. Do you think Kendrick beat his wife? What do you leave it in the comments below? He's probably released another diss track by now. I hope the message of this video sticks, cause you know, like this beef ain't gonna last forever. So, you know. Okay, I'll see you.
A bitch that handles big business.